Welcome back to LewyT Amusement Academy Part 8. Today we're going to learn how to add a button in our game that when the player clicks on the button, they go to a new scene. We're also going to look at the code of how the button works. I think it's the first time in this series that we do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this panel back on so we can see it, see what's going on. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to add another UI button. With this button, I'm going to click on this gizmo, Alt-Shift, and put it at the bottom center. I'm going to give it a Y position of 10. So it moves it 10 up from the bottom. I think that's a good spot. I'm going to go into the button in the hierarchy, into the text, and then change the text of the button to continue. And then I'm going to go back to the button, and I don't want it to be just a white button. Let's make it go with our color scheme of greenish stuff. We'll make it a green color, but more of a light green. The button doesn't do anything yet, so as we would normally do, we would go to the OnClick event and add it to do something. We need a few different things, but the first thing, let's say what we're doing is going to go back to the main screen, a main menu scene, which has like start game button maybe on it. So to go make the continue button, go to another scene, we need to make another scene. So far, we have just been doing everything inside one scene. I'm going to go into the project. Under assets, there is one folder called scenes, and there's one scene, and it's called sample scene. That's just the default scene that you get when you create a project. We can rename it, so you click on it, wait a little bit, and click again. Let's call this Island Volcano, but we also need another scene. So I'm going to right click in this empty space and click create, and go down to scene. Now there's some different options in here, but just the very first one is what we need. Just click scene, and it'll be a new scene, but we can rename it, and let's call this the main menu. Okay, in the main menu, we will have to double click on it to open it. We're going to go ahead and save the changes that we made to this scene, and now we're in the main menu scene, and it looks like it looked at the very beginning before we did anything. It's like a brand new world. To make our button work, we don't actually need to make anything in this world. We're going to go back to the Island Volcano, and we're going to go back to our canvas, our wind panel, buttons. Oh, we have two buttons and they're named the same thing, so let's make sure we rename them. I'm going to rename this one X close button, and then this one will be continue button. Now, like I said, we need an object. This OnClick event, we need something to do. The wind panel is where we're going to put our actions. So we can put it anywhere. Let's go ahead and put the wind panel as the object for our continue button. So I'm going to drag wind panel into this none object, and there it's wind panel. Now, none of these options will work for us. There's lots of things we can do, but none of them will move us to a new scene. So I'm going to go back to the wind panel, and what we need is a component on the wind panel that will change the scene. So let's go ahead and add a component. Scene change. No. So there is no component in the default Unity setup that will do what we want, but it is possible. So whenever you run into a situation where you need to do something and there's not already a component that does it, what do you do? If you thought I was going to say we go to the Unity Asset Store and download, then I wouldn't blame you, because that's usually what I do. However, I've already looked on the Unity Asset Store and I could not find a script or a component or anything that does what we need. So I made one myself. You're looking at it on the screen here. It's very simple, just a few lines of code, and it makes the button work. So I will place this script in a link that you can download from GitHub Gists in the description of the video, and you will be able to follow along. I will also explain the code right now. Go ahead and go over here. So I named my script LoadScene button. It uses UnityEngine and SceneManagement. I just made this as my namespace. LewyT Game Lab LoadScene button. And then the class name is LoadScene button. It's a mono behavior like most scripts you would put on a game object are. The first actual piece of logic is this scene object. So it's public so that you could access it from outside. It's an object, not specifically a game object, because a scene is not a game object. And I just call it scene. And then there's this public void method called LoadScene. And first it does, it just checks to see that scene, if it's null, it returns without doing anything. But if it gets past that, that means that scene was not null, and it tries to do SceneManager.LoadScene, and then using the scene's name. So that's all there is to it. Let's go back to Unity Editor, go to my Continue button. This should be what it looks like for you. We've got a button component, and this allows you to pick an object and a method on that object, or function on that object. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another component, and I'm right now in the project view. I'm in my scripts folder where I have my script LoadScene button. Go back to the Continue button, and I'm going to add a component. I'm going to start typing load. There it is, LoadScene button. And it's very simple. It only has that scene object. And what we need to do is, well, I'll do that later. So there's two pieces to it. We need to set up the button to use LoadScene button. And then we also need to load the scene, the correct scene that we want to load. Because I've put the LoadScene button component on the actual button object, then this button object is what goes into this object in the button component, in the OnClick event. What you can do is actually drag this up there. That works. Or you can drag this over here. That works also. But you want this to say the same thing as it says at the very top of this same object, because this is also the object that has the LoadScene button component. And then once we have the object selected, we want to select the function, and the bottom one is the LoadScene button component. We go down there, and then we're looking for LoadScene. Click on that. LoadScene button.LoadScene is function. And if we were to play right now, it wouldn't work because we haven't selected the scene. So I'm going to go to the scenes folder in my project and find the main menu scene, drag it over here into this scene object. Let it go. There it is. Now we're ready to go. That's all there is to it. Let's just confirm that it works. We're already got the button available to click, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. So there we are in a new world, a vast, unending, blank world. Okay. Stop. And I guess that could be enough for today. It is a little bit shorter than normal, but maybe I could show you how to make the other world come back here. So we'll go to the main menu and maybe ease back in a little bit. I'm going to right click in the hierarchy, create a UI button. And when it creates the button, it also creates the canvas. Let's name it Start Game Button. And I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to put in the text of the button. So we have to open up to the text and go in here and change it to my new name. Go back to the button. I like to make this a green button. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a component, LoadScene button. We're going to drag this time is the island volcano scene into the scene object for the LoadScene button script. And then in the button component, we're going to create a new action, and we're going to, they'll do it this a little bit different this time. We'll drag the button from the hierarchy into this object. And then go to the function. We'll go to LoadScene button and LoadScene. So that's all we need to do, I think, to get it to go. So let's test this one out. And then we're going to go ahead and click the Start Game. There we go. I left this visible, so it wouldn't make sense for that. If we get over here, then we can continue, and we can just keep going around if we really wanted to do that. Okay, we still have a little bit of time, so I want to do a little bit more to make this main menu scene look more like a real game. Let's give it a background picture instead of this plain background that we have here. So in the canvas, we're going to right click, go to UI and Image. It puts the image in front. We'll call it background image. And then in the hierarchy, we're going to drag it above the button. So above, lower is in front and above is in the back. We still want it to be on the canvas, so we don't drag it outside of the canvas, just above the button. Now, our background image is very small, but that's okay. We're going to give it a sprite. So I've previously taken a screenshot of this slime in the world, so I'm going to double click it. There it is. It's still small, but I'm going to hit set native size on this image, and that brings it full size. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, we could tweak it and play around and try to get it in a little bit different position, but I think when this is displayed in full screen mode, it will look pretty good. So I just hit maximize and it shows up pretty good. When I took a screenshot, I had my recording on, and it showed the keys I was pressing at the bottom. I cut off most of that, but it's still there. You might not have that problem. I exit maximize. So the next thing I want to do is put a title. So we're gonna right click on the canvas again and go to UI text mesh pro. There's the title. It also puts it in front of everything, but that's fine. I'm going to change it to title. I'm going to change its position using this gizmo, Alt Shift and top center. So it's not just top center, but top stretch all the way across the top. Now, as you can see, it didn't actually go to the middle. It went to the top left, but that's because the text is left aligned. So we're going to center align it. I also don't want it just right at the very, very top. So I'm going to put a -100 in that Y position. Bring it down. I'm going to change my actual title text to my cute slime. Okay. It's also not as big as I would like, so I'm going to change the font size to something like 75. Looks pretty good. I don't really like the color, so I'm going to change the color to a green. Okay. I'm also going to hit bold on it. B for bold. It looks pretty good. It's a little bit flat. I want to give it more of a three-dimensional look to the text. So a simple way to do that is under this vertex color, there's color gradient. You just check that checkbox and it opens up some more options. I'm going to go with a vertical gradient. That means it changes from top to bottom. So the two colors available is top and bottom. So I'm going to change this one to a very light green, and the bottom one to a very dark green. Not a very dark green, just kind of a medium dark green. Now the lightness and darkness, it looks kind of cool, but there is a like certain places where the green in the tree is just so close to the same color that it almost turns invisible. So I'm going to go down to the material and click on outline. I'm going to change my outline from 0 to, I don't know, that number, just whatever looks good. I don't want a completely black outline, so I'm going to change this to a dark green, a very dark green. And there you go. Got a title and a start game button. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching LewyT Amusement Academy Part 8. If you learned something down here, please like and subscribe and share with your friends and frenemies and enemies and even your nemesis. Come back down to LewyT Game Lab for Part 9 and we will learn about health and damage. We will add a health bar and some dangerous objects that our cute little slime will need to avoid.